Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our channel once again. If you're watching for the first time, take a second or two, subscribe to our channel so that whenever we have such videos, you are always notified. And for my continued viewers, thank you so much for your support. So without further ado, let's get to today's story. Just a few days ago, Judge Lenol of the Supreme Court brought to the attention of Kenyans that the country was going to find itself in a very difficult constitutional crisis situation because of the lack of appointment of IEBC. Putting in mind that it's only 2.5 years to the next general election, questioning when will this IBC get time to prepare for the election and oversee challenges that come with elections. He even questioned and said that during the Rigathi Gachagua impeachment case, the system they were using for the transmission of files had failed, and he was worried of how soon the firewalls of the new system they had placed had failed, and what will happen in 2027 if this IBC is not going to have enough time to oversee challenges that come with elections. He even urged Kenyans to come with the hashtag appoint IBC now, which we saw that was trending in online. Just yesterday, in the same line, Cabinet passed a bill that a lot of Kenyans have come out to question, and a lot of Kenyans are discussing that bill and the intentions of that bill at such a time in our country. In this bill, it states that President-elect and Deputy President shall receive security such of that of an office holder. So immediately a person is declared president and is deputy president, those people will receive securities such as that of a president. You know all that comes with security of the president. So this person will be enjoying presidential security, which a lot of Kenyans on the social media are questioning and saying that it's not a fair thing because the losers in the elections who will be proceeding either to court will feel that the person who has been accorded presidential security is already enjoying presidential security, and yet the case has not been heard in court and the results have not been released. This person will be seen so powerful, and because of the state of enjoyment of that security. Another thing that is in this bill that was passed by cabinet is that any state or public officer who will try to stop transition of the process of presidency will be imprisoned for 10 years or be fined a 10 million fine. If you remember very well, during the times of 2020 general elections, after Chebukati did declare William Samuel Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua as president and deputy president-elect, there is Cherela-led commissions that came out to say that they were not in agreement with those results. In this bill, such a thing cannot be attempted because it will be a contempt of stopping transition of presidency. So such persons will be dealt harshly with this fine or this imprisonment that will be passed by that bill. And also a thing that Kenyans are really questioning of the freedom of expression, the freedom of coming out to whistleblow, the freedom of feeling or having a different opinion. And it's also another thing that is really in question. Another thing that is in this bill is if you've seen of the past elections, the president outgoing attends the swearing in ceremony and hands in instruments of power. In the 2022 election, as for example, Uhuru Kenyatta attended in the swearing in of William Samoei Ruto, even if he was not supporting William Samoei Ruto, and he effectively handed instruments of power, which include the sword, the constitution, and all those things that involve transition of power from one president to another president. This bill says that if the former president or the outgoing president fails to attend the swearing in of a president elect, then that will not hinder the swearing in process. The swearing in process will continue even without the handing in of the instruments of power. According to this bill, the reason given is that this is to stop dependence on the former government. So, if, for example, you are not the president was not supporting the president-elect, the outgoing president, then it will not be very necessary that he must attend the swearing-in ceremony and earn in power. If he fails to attend, the process will continue even if he or she doesn't attend that function. That's also another thing that is in that bill that was passed by cabinet. The last thing that is in this bill is that members of the cabinet of the outgoing elect that were working with the outgoing president will still remain in office until those appointed until we have new ones appointed by the president elect. This will be, I think, is not a bad thing to enable effective transition of offices, handing in of files, and all things that involve transfer of office from one cabinet secretary to another cabinet secretary in the same office. So these are the issues that Kenyans have really questioned. Remember that I've always told you that the 2027 election is going to be one of the most expensive and contentious election because of the things that are in place right now. Having the Gen Z factor, we have the likes of Matiangi, very strong people. We have the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua, who are now in different sides of the government. So it's going to be a very contentious election. And whoever is going to be declared president is going to be protected by this bill. There is going to be ensured that he's protected because he's going to be accorded security such as that of president, and his transition is not going to be stopped by the things we have seen in former elections. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell me what you think about this bill, its intention in such a moment when Kenyans are really opposing a lot of things in government, and we have a lot of people feeling and having and expressing their views about the current government. What do you think about this bill? Is it a bill that has good intentions for Kenyans, or is it a bill that is passed under suspicion and with a different intentions, and Kenyans should not trust it? Because in the social media there are Kenyans who have come out to say that this bill will not survive in court when the likes of, let's say, Okiya Mtata and some activists go to court and question this bill. Do you think is it going to survive in court, or do you think it's a bill that has good intentions to our country, and it's a bill that will serve the purpose that there is no violence, there is no things like we saw during the swearing of President William Samoei Ruto? There were chaos in there was chaos during the swearing in, and we saw chairs flying in the air. This process had to be stopped for a little while longer for security to be restored. When the president-elect was in present, do you think it's right that the president-elect or declared elect should receive a state security, such as that of a sitting president, or should we wait until the president is sworn in after the end of the case that is presented in the Supreme Court? You can tell me your views. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for today. But as always, like this video, share this video, and comment in the comment sections. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two, subscribe to our channel, and always I'll do my best to give you a reply for your comments and listen to your opinion.